offering my humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Lord. Wishing you very, very happy 61st anniversary day of Malleshwaram Samiti. Let's put all our hands together and celebrate this joyous occasion. I think incessant Swami's blessings that we've been, going with Swami, the journey is continuing. I think look forward that centenary celebration for this Samiti with much more vibrant, a lot of people joining the Swami's vision. Okay, today we've invited a special speaker. It's very difficult to introduce a speaker because it's already known to people, right? Not possible to introduce a person, but still I've got my duty to introduce the loving brother, Sri Sai Vinod. Welcome, sir, to our Samiti. Let's put our hands together and welcome Sri Sai Vinod. Also, I take this opportunity to welcome the first Samiti started at the residence of Dr. Sundaresh sir. He is here. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Also, all the senior devotees of this Samiti. A lot of people are here. Very happy to see a lot of people after many months because of there are a lot of ups and downs in our life. I think the crowd is picking up, and Swami has his own ways to bring people to his fold. They say that 𝗦𝗵𝗵, that famous Shiva temple, Shiva came down with more than 3,000 families of Dikshitas. The people are still taking care of the temple with respect to the puja and managing such a big temple. Like similarly, as 𝗧𝗹𝗪 came down, there are many devotees who were brought down here. One of them was 𝗧𝗹𝗪 family, right? And though the Shiva we cannot see now, we can see, not see whatever, individual capacity, but Swami ensures that those people continue to do his seva, right? I think no more introduction required for Sai Vinod. Whatever I know about him last 15 years being in Bangalore, anything which is mass, bigger scale, a lot of people to reach, whether it's Perthi or Bangalore, it is Sai Vinod's family. Not alone himself, the entire family get into Swami's activity. That's very, very rare to see. I think that is why Swami is still blessing, there and sitting there and doing a lot of miracles and, guiding even today in the subtle form. And maybe we don't know what are the experiences that Sai Vinod has. But I think he just finished a mass Satyanarayana Vrata Puja at Perthi day before, and he is very dynamic. This is what I wanted to say about you. I don't know anything about us personally, but I know he's a Sai brother. He's an extended Sai family member. We are very, very happy to invite you here. I don't think so. I want to take much time of yours. We want to invite you to the stage and share your experience of Bhagavan with us. Jai Sai Ram. Thank you.
Of our most beloved Lord, Bhagavan Sri Sathya Sai Baba. It is an humbling experience today because it is the 61st anniversary of a Samiti which was started even before I was born. Swami travels much more than any space and time we can imagine. Today's topic is Sai Bhagavatam. Once, when we had an opportunity of interacting with Swami, there was a sort of a discussion coming up on Bhagavatam. That time, Swami, both of us, father and myself, were sitting at Swami's feet. He said, Bhagavatam vinte ēmautundu telusunara? He asked. I said, I didn't want to say anything because whatever we say, there's something else for Swami to tell us. So it's Swami Telidu Swami, Meere Cheppandi. So he said, Bhagavatam vinte andru bhagavatar. He said. So today manamandru bhagavatunam endukante Sai Bhagavatam vintunnam. So in the Bhagavatam, the starting we have is 𝗕𝗏 Here I would like to share my experiences from the 𝗕்vம் Sai aspect. We would, I think, for many of us Sai devotees, Swami is everything. Mata, Pita, Guru, Daivam. But I would like to narrate a few instances where I have learned my lessons at Swami's feet. That is, we were 𝗕்vம் Vishnu, that is very appropriate to this instance, I feel. We were newly married, and my in-laws' side was not from a Sai family. They were very new to Swami, and in fact, my brother-in-laws even used to make fun of Swami because of his hair and because of his miracles or whatever it is. At that point, Swami selected this girl for me, and then we had an opportunity to have Swami's darshan before the marriage and all that, and that happened in Vrindavan. 4 or 5 pictures of Swami. It was taken to Swami, pictures of the girls and the horoscope as usual. And Swami said, Yavadi chudu, Niki yorni ishtamayinavo cheppu, he said. I didn't want to say anything. In fact, it was a very tricky situation. If I say something and Swami says, no, adu vaddunte, then we are in trouble. So I said, Swami, meere chusu cheppandi. That time, he said, hey, neek manslo yoro unnar telusu naku cheppu, he said. There again, the reason why I am saying this is, he knows all of our minds. That was very appropriate to say he knows everything. At that point, then he said, cheppu nuvu. Then I showed him this picture. And he said, manchidi. Nenu ide anukuntunnanu. Nuvem cheptavu chustamannadu. So, like that, we selected each other. The Divine Master selected each other. And then, after that, just before the marriage, he called us inside and he said, Nenu meeku battlu mangalsutram anta istanu, teesukora andaru nenu annaru. There, what happened was, ours is a very big family. My daddy has 3 brothers and 2 sisters. All of them were married. The elders were all married. In this side, I was the first one to get married. Obviously, Swami, whenever Swami called us, we were not less than 25 to 30 of us, the first family itself. At that point, Swami said, hey, nee family ante mee family matram, andarni teeskuravaddu, he said. I said, Swami, ours is a very extended family, etla Swami. Le mee family matram randi meeto maatladali, he said. Okay. So we all went. Grandfather, both my grandparents were there. My mother's side also, both my grandparents were there. And we all went to Vrindavan. Swami called us inside. And then he made us sit. He materialized a Mangal Sutra. And my grandfather, being the eldest in the family, he said, you come forward, and he gave the Mangal Sutra to him. And as usual, the elders have very inquisitive, right? Whatever. And moreover, we being jewelers, he wanted to see what he has given. So he saw the Mangal Sutra, and usually in our tradition, what we make is a flat thali with a small dot in the center. And the girl side, they make a thali which is like a cup. That is from the girl side, and this is from the boy's side. So grandfather was very, very particular in these sort of rituals and this sort of a thing. And then he looked at it and he looked at Swami's face. So Swami said, "Enti?" He said, "Ledu Swami. Swami had given a metallized Mangalsutra with the thread with a cup type. That is from the mother's side. Swami, the telli intlo iche Mangalsutram Swami, meeru manam katte Mangalsutram vere kada Swami ante, this statement will never be faded away from my life." He said, "Nenu telli sthanamlo ninchukoni istunnanu," he said. So, when we say Mata, Pita, Guru, Daivam, it is not just like that. He literally lives to that every word of it. And then, when it comes to Pita, I will narrate one more instance. My younger brother was engaged, and by something went wrong, and there again we couldn't follow what Swami was trying to say. That's the reason why we think we failed. An engagement was fixed just the previous day of the engagement, with no hard feelings. We got a call from the girl's side saying, "No, we want to withdraw this engagement." And it was a very heavy blow for all of us, because such things don't happen in our families. We said, "Okay, fine." And then we were doubting Swami. Swami had fixed the engagement, Swami had given us the date, everything. But we were wondering why Swami did this. Then the next time when we went to Parthi, Swami said, after the engagement, the next day itself, tomorrow was the engagement, because it got cancelled, we again went back the next day. Swami said, "Emi, engagement cancel ayinda?" He said, "Oh Swami, cancel ayindi. Parvaledu. Danikana manchi bidda untundi. Enduku bhayapadtavu?" He said. And then we were called inside, and my younger brother also was there. At that point, he told Swami, "Nenu pelli chesko, eppudu next pelli, eppudu pillan chustavu?" He asked my younger brother. He said, when is your marriage? Just now, yesterday, some disaster has happened, and now Swami is asking when is the marriage. So he said, "Ledu Swami, ippudu kaadu Swami," he said. "Enduku? Nenu choose pedtanu pillanu," he said. Okay. Aithe Swami, he had the courage, and he was in a very broken stage. He said, "Swami, pelli చేసుకుంటే మీరు చేస్తే మాత్రం నేను చేసుకుంటాను స్వామి, అంతవరకు నేను చేసుకోను స్వామి, అదర్వైజ్." Then after I came out, I told my brother, "Enduku ఊరికే అలా చెప్తావు, because Swami has stopped performing marriages like this, so you should not have said that." He said, "Ledu, only if he does the marriage, I will take it." Then an alliance came through, and then what happened was, Swami fixed the date once again. It was his will that it had happened. He called us for an interview in Prashantinile. And at that point, Swami, we all went as a family. The girl which Swami had selected had no father. Only the mother was there. So he came, sat there. He materialized a Mangalsutra. And then for my marriage, he gave it to my grandfather. Now my grandfather was no more. I thought he will give it to my father, and I pushed my father to go up. Nana 𝗏 So he said, "No." I said, "What's wrong?" Okay. Then he called my brother and gave it to him. After he gave it to him, he said, "Veyi." In the interview room, he said, "Put it." We were all stunned, we were all looking baffled, and said, a formal marriage was fixed, date was fixed, the Samskrita Sadanam was booked, we had distributed almost about 1,500 invitations. And now Swami is saying 𝗻. And then my brother was delighted and he straightaway started tying the Mangal Sutra. I was looking at everyone and what is happening? And you will not believe it. Swami put his hand on the girl's head and he started chanting the whole Muhurta Mantram, the Mangal Sutra Mantram. And he said, "Ippudu మీ పెళ్ళి అయిపోయింది, పిల్లని ఇంటికి తీసుకెళ్ళు." And then he what happened was, he put his hand like that on my brother's fiancée. Now she is no more the fiancée. After that, ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂದರೆ, ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ತಂದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ನಾನು ತಂದೆ ಸ್ಥಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿಂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮದುವೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. And actually, just before we could enter the interview room, the mother was feeling very sad that the father is no more. She was literally crying and she was frightened how the marriage will take place. Here Swami, standing in the place of the father, he performed the marriage. And he said, he even spoke to her, the mother, and said, "Ippudu santoshama, tandri sthananlo nenu unnanu, enduku bhayapadtavu?" He said, "Why are you frightened? I'm there in the place of the father." So that was another instance where he was telling us that he is Mata Pita, Guru. Yes. Here again, what happened was, once previously, in many occasions, Swami used to always tell us, "Eppudu nee inta venta janta untanu," he said. He used to say. But for me, I took it very lightly, I feel. So Swami wanted to show me, "Nee inta venta janta untanani elagani." We had a very disastrous accident while we were coming back from Chikmagalur near Kunugal, where a huge branch of a tree fell onto our car. The front portion was fully crushed and there was no way for me to come out of the car. Both my daughters and my wife were sitting at the back. And then when we came out, my head was bleeding, and then I put a few steps outside the car and I couldn't walk. From somewhere, some people came and they were youngsters of course. They literally carried me and put me into their car and they took me to a hospital in Kunugal. At that point, I was very much sad that for a long time no one came to our rescue. Even though they saw us standing there helpless, no one came to our rescue. But these 3 boys came and took us there in hospital and all that. It's a long story how we reached the hospital and all that. But at the hospital, they looked at my leg and said, there are at least 3 to 4 fractures in your leg. It has to be a surgical treatment. And until then, I was not feeling very sad. That point, I literally started crying. The reason for my being sad was, my wife was saying, "Intasepu istottu neevu sumne idralla, enakke ivaga alta idira?" She asked. Ledu. What happened was, I had seen previously when someone like this couldn't sit on the floor or something like that, At Parthi, we are given a chair very far away. But we had a space very close to Swami's interview room. And I thought of it and I said, Ayyo, inka inna kammi indra ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ನಾನು ಸ್ವಾಮಿಯಿಂದ ದೂರ ಇರಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, ಅಷ್ಟು ದೂರ ಕೂತ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂತ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ನನಗೆ I started crying. And then my wife said, it is okay, Swami will take care and all that. Then we came to, at that point, here I would like to mention one more thing. Next to my bed, there was another, a couple, a Muslim couple, with a small infant who was suffering from, I think it is diarrhea if I am not wrong. And she was very bad, in a very bad state, very critical state. And the doctors were telling her, you have to take her to a bigger hospital, we can't do much here. At that point, one thing struck to me. Swami once, in a few months back, had given me one vibhuti packet. And he said, usually I'm not satisfied with one vibhuti packet from Swami. I would take once, second time, third time, like that. So on that day, he gave me one vibhuti packet and he said, Tisko, prasadam. I said, Okati chaldu Swami. So at that point, he said, this is not for you. This is for someone. When it is required, you can give it to them. At that point, that instance came to me. And I said, even though they were Muslims, I said, it doesn't matter. And I gave that vibhuti packet to him, to the father of that baby. And they took the vibhuti packet and I told them whether you will be accepting this because they were Muslims. So they accepted it. Yenadru illi sir, 𝗍𝗏 𝗓𝗏 alva anta heli. They took it and they left. That story ended there. And then I came to Bangalore and I was crying all the way through and I was telling Swami, these many fractures, I will not be able to sit cross-legged in the veranda. Please, I don't know what you're going to do. So then I came to Bangalore and our family orthopedic doctor, whom we know very personally, Dr. Ravi Shankar, he was in Bangalore nursing home, he waited for us. And then when I went there, we had a X-ray done and all that. And there in that hospital in Kunagal, they said there's surely multiple fractures. And here the doctor saw the X-ray and said, there are no fractures. I was so happy. I literally wanted to jump up and come out of the bed and run to Swami to say, thank you, Swami. And then at that point he said, you need not be so happy. There is a very bad and big blood clot on your ankle calf muscle, below the calf muscle. So you have to take rest for at least 1.5 to 2 months. You cannot move, you cannot walk. Everything should be done in the bed. And I said, now again I am tied to the bed for another 2 months. Sari, if that is what is the case, let's accept it. And it went on. And then Swami, I was sending letters with my father. Swami, I want to come for darshan. Swami, I want to come for darshan. He kept pushing it. Then cheptanundu. He kept telling. And one fine day, I think it was after nearly 45 days or 50 days, Swami said, come. And I went to the orthopedic doctor over there and said, Swami has asked me to come, I'm going. He said, you will be going on your own risk. You can't travel. I said, it's okay. Swami has asked me to come, I'm going. That's it. I went to Parthi. Swami had his compassion as a father, mother was so immense that I was cribbing for sitting somewhere at the back. No? There was an arrangement made where I was sitting. They had put a chair there. Usually it doesn't happen. just before the first pillar. And I was wondering what is happening, and then our Chakravarti sir was the secretary. He sent word to the veranda people and saying, ask him to sit on the chair. I was a little worried because there were so many elders sitting there, and me sitting on the chair was not okay. I sat on a cushion. I put 2 cushions. There was a step at that veranda. I think a lot of Sundarshan sir is aware of that step. And I put 2 cushions and I sat there. Swami came for darshan. He came on the lower veranda, just went past as if I didn't exist. And then he went for darshan, came back, went on the upper veranda. He didn't say a word. He just went past again. I said, Swami, idi enta elanti leela, Swami? I was thinking, what is this sort of a test you are giving me? And then again, he came back on the lower veranda. Again, he didn't even see me. He just went inside. Oh, I thought I have made some mistake somewhere by not doing what Swami wanted. Maybe because Swami wanted me to sit on the chair, so I am not sitting there. So that's why he is ignoring me, and I thought. Then he went inside and he sent word asking us to come. Both, as usual, father, as soon as he called, he started just walking towards the interview room, forgot that I'm not able to walk. So I was limping and trying to go into this interview room. And then he came and he said, Enduku ra inka? Why are you still limping? He asked in Telugu. And Led Swami, as if nothing happened, he felt as if I'm trying to limp like that. And then Enduku ra kuntutunnavu inka? In Telugu he asked. I said, Led Swami, noppi undi Swami. I said, okay, avuna? And chusi, he said, okay, show me the wound, he said. It was in a very bad shape. I feel even a doctor wouldn't like to see such a wound. And it was all with pus, and it was I wouldn't say, I don't know how to explain it. So he said, Deggirra. At that point, he said, Deggirra. I went close. And he said, Nenu, bless chestanra Deggara, noppi undadu, he said. There won't be pain. I will bless you. And he wanted to touch the wound and bless me. I said, Voddu Swami, moreover it is dirty and it is my leg. Swami touching, I was not very happy. I said, Voddu Swami ikkada kadra, akkada undedi. It is not there, it is here, he said. At that point, he said something very profuse. I was very insisting that it should not be done. And he said, Anni vyadulu nalo unnai. Anni vyaduliki nivarana kuda nalo undi. That means to say, all the diseases are in me. And all the cures for all the diseases are also in me. So you need not worry, he said. And then obviously, I couldn't say anything. He blessed. His hand was dirty. He took his hanky, wiped it. I said, Swami, give me that hanky. He said, Ledu, idu nenu wash chestanu. He said, there I felt that he is washing off all my sufferings. Idu wash chestanu. At that point I felt he is washing all our sufferings. And then you said one more thing. నువ్వు నేను ముందు చెప్పినట్టు నేను ఎప్పుడు నీ ఇంట వెంట జంట ఉంటానని చెప్పి అన్నాను కదా. And at that point he narrated the whole hospital instance where I gave the prasadam to that baby. Everything he narrated. ఇప్పుడు తెలుసునా నీ ఇంట వెంట జంట ఉండానంటే, he said. Then what happened was, after narrating that, he said, ₹1 that what had to happen if we compare it to 1 rupee, what has happened to you is only 1 paisa. And I didn't understand. He said, Em telsuna annaru. I said, Artham kale Swami. That blood clot which was there had to be in your head, not on your leg. Because there was no way that my leg had to get injured. Because the branch fell on my roof, not on my leg. అక్కడ ఉండాల్సిన బ్లడ్ క్లాట్ కాళ్ళకి పంపించినాను రా నేను నీకు అన్నారు. At that point, I fell at Swami's feet. I started crying and I told Swami, thank you Swami. ఇప్పుడు ఇంకొకటి చెప్తున్నాను, నీ ఎంట వెంట జంట ఉండి ఎప్పుడు కాపాడుతాను. He added that కాపాడుతాను phrase. I'm always there with you. So, any words which Swami has told us doesn't go wrong. We have to only believe that and go forward. One more instance to say that Swami is always with us is when, after our marriage, my wife wanted to write a letter to Swami. And as usual, we have our own way of talking to Swami, telling Swami what we have to write, what we want to write. And she didn't know how to write to Swami. She asked me, please tell me how to start the letter. I said, it's up to you and Swami. Why should, the way you want to write it, you write it. No, you tell me. And we were newly married. So obviously we would have had difference of opinions in different things. And we literally started arguing. And that grew up into a small argument. I wouldn't say small argument because it was a bad argument. Okay, so then after that, I told her, this is how I write a letter to Swami. You write it the way you want it. She wrote something. I don't know what it was. Obviously, she had a list of complaints against me, I feel. So I said, she gave it to me and she said, you read it. I said, no, I won't read it. Why should I read it? Because it is for you and Swami. And then she put it in an envelope. She gave it to me. And I was a little hesitant to take that letter also because it was open letter. It was not sealed. This monkey mind can play tricks, I thought. And I said, okay, paste chesesi, you gum it and give it to me, I said. So she pasted it and gave it to me. I put it in my pocket. In the enthusiasm of going close to Swami in the interview room, I forgot that there was a letter in my pocket. And Swami called us inside and he said, Enti, marchipoyinava bharyanu, he said. You forgot your wife. I said, I was wondering what he was referring to. Ledu Swami. Mari నీ భార్య ఇచ్చిన లెటర్ ఇలేదే నేను నిన్న మనెవరు కొట్టిన లెటర్ కొడలిల్వే అంటే దెన్ ఐ రియలైజ్డ్ ఓ ఐ హ్యావ్ అ లెటర్. ఐ గేవ్ ఇట్ టు హిమ్ అండ్ obviously I opened it and gave it to him. Cheduvu, he said, read it. I said, Swami, read it, what is this, Swami? Ledu Swami, ఇది మీకు రాసిన లెటర్ Swami, మీరే, you read it. He said, he read the letter and he looked at me, read the letter, looked at me. Then I understood there was a list of complaints on me. And he said, Cheduvu ippudu. I said, Oddu Swami, adi emundo meere chuskondi Swami. Neeve nodkolli Swami ane enidiyo. I said, and I kept quiet. Then at that point, it was only 3 of us, Daddy, myself and Swami. And he started narrating word by word of what all fight we had in our bedroom. And at that, I said, I listened. Then I held Swami's feet because Daddy is there. Now it's not going to be a good situation. And I held Swami's feet and said, Swami, chalu Swami. And then he said, Ippudu telusuna ఎప్పుడు నీ వెంట ఉన్నానని చెప్తూ ఉంటుంది. నౌ యూ అండర్స్టూడ్, ఐఎమ్ ఆల్వేస్ విత్ యూ. At that point, at every word, every instance, he kept telling me that I'm always with you. And one instance where I would like to narrate where it is, where Swami, because this is Bhagavatam, where Swami was talking about, when we talk about Swami, he is Lord Krishna himself. Once what happened, we were sitting, I went alone to Parthi. I was sitting on the veranda. Our place was something like this. If I am sitting here, there was a window there where we can see inside the bhajan hall. Just before Swami had to come for darshan, I had a desire that I want to have a darshan of Lord Krishna of Udupi. I was very much ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅಂದರೆ ನನಗೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಇಷ್ಟ ದೈವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಉಡುಪಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಅಂದರೆ ನನಗಿನ್ನೂ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವಾಸ್ ಕ್ಲೋಸರ್ ಟು ಮೈ ಹಾರ್ಟ್. ಆವಾಗ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಐ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಎ ಡಿಸೈರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಐ ಸೆಡ್, ನೌ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಮ್. ವೆನ್ ಹಿ ಕಾಲ್ಸ್ ಮೀ ಟು ಟಾಕ್ ಟು ಹಿಮ್, ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗೋ ಟು ಉಡುಪಿ. ಸರಿ, ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಬಂದರು, ನನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಭಜನ್ ಹಾಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋದರು. ಆ ಭಜನ್ ಹಾಲ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಯಿತು, he placed himself in such a way that I could see Swami from the window. Usually that doesn't happen because the chair of Swami is a much before that. But he came there so that I could see Swami from the window. And then from there he looked at me and he said like this. I thought he's talking to someone else. I looked at back because there was no one else. There's a pillar. Obviously he's talking to me. He again said like this. I folded my hands and I shook my head. At that point he said, he showed a sign saying, that and this is the same. Nenu Krishnudu ogate. At that point, I felt, and I had one more desire at that point. I need to take some Naivedyam to Udupi when I am going to have darshan of Lord Krishna. Today, I am revealing one secret which we very rarely tell people. Usually, when we go for darshan, I think Sundarshan sir also would have seen us, we carry a small bag. And lot of people used to wonder, what is in the bag? Usually, what used to happen was, mummy used to prepare ನಮ್ಮ ವೈಶ್ಯಸಲ್ಲಿ ಚಕ್ಲಿಗಳು ಆ ಥರದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಆ ಥರ ನಿಪ್ಪಟ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ವಾ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆ ಥರದ್ದು ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೆ ಅಮ್ಮ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಅದು ಕ್ಲೀನಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ಬಾಕ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿ ಫಾಯಿಲ್ ರ್ಯಾಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ವಿ. ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್, ಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಆಸ್ಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಟೇಕ್ ದಿ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್. ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ನೈಸ್ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಟೈಮ್ ವಿ ಗೋ, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಹಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಕೀಪ್ ಇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಟೇಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್ ಟು ಯಜುರ್ ಮಂದಿರ್. ದಟ್ ಡೇ he called me. After this happened, this darshan, he called me. Enti, తీసుకొని వచ్చినావా? He asked. I said in front of everyone what to say. తీసుకొచ్చినావా? He asked, ತಂದಿದೆಯಾ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರು ತೆಲುಗುವಲ್ಲಿ. ನಾನು whether to say yes or no in front of, there were about almost 25-30 bhajan boys sitting inside the hall. I didn't want to say anything. Po, తీసుకురా po, he said. I went outside and I brought the box. Tea. I said, Swami, ikkadna. He said, yes, open. I opened the box. As I was opening the box, Swami said, enti undi telusna, usme kya hai malum hai anta Hindi boys alla idru, avrige ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು. uno nippat lekar aako hai anta ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. Then they didn't understand what Swami was saying. మీకంతా తెలీదురా, నిప్పట్లంటే 𝗃𝗵𝗷𝗱 తింటారు, he said. So then he opened it. He gave two pieces to all the boys. And then I was sitting there looking at Swami, and I said, Swami, he didn't give me. And I looked at him and said, hey, what? Swami, I asked Swami, you brought it, na? Why you want? Then at that point, it just occurred to me. And he said, I told Swami, Swami, నేను తెచ్చింది ప్రసాదం స్వామి, ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఇచ్చేది నైవేద్యం స్వామి, I said. At that point, he patted on my cheek and he said, మనమిచ్చేది ప్రసాదం, భగవంతుడిచ్చేది, మనమిచ్చేది నైవేద్యం, భగవంతుడిచ్చేది ప్రసాదం. That is right. That is the right way of offering it to Swami. ಅಂದರೆ ನಾವು ಕೊಡೋದು ನೈವೇದ್ಯ, ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಕೊಡೋದು, ಸ್ವಾಮಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಪಣೆ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಪ್ರಸಾದ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ he distributed to everyone. Still it is not Naivedyam. It is just only Naivedyam. It is not Prasadam as yet. Because Swami didn't eat it. So I was still holding it in my hand and said, Swami, Inka idi Naivedyangane undi Swami. It's still Naivedyam only, not Prasadam Swami, I said. Then that compassionate Lord, he just broke one small piece and put it in his mouth and he said, now it is prasadam, take it home. At that point, see, our Lord listens to every small aspect of it, but how much are we listening to Him? That is the most important thing. We question and we have our own way of analyzing what Swami is doing to us. Here, Swami once again taught me one lesson. What happens if we offer everything at his feet? It was my father's 60th birthday, and all of us were inside as a family. And then Swami called us, spoke to us and all that. At that point, Swami had kept a pile of clothes next to his chair. And then he asked me to take it and give it to him. He put all the clothes on his lap, and then he distributed the dhoti to my father, gave one dhoti to the father. And then he had 3 saris on his lap. He showed it to my mother and he said, you select what you want. My mother said, I don't want anything in this, Swami. Your blessing is more than enough. In Telugu, she was talking to Swami. I don't want, nakemi oddu Swami, mee aashirvadam unte chalu. Only your blessing is enough. So he said, no, select what color you want. There were 3 different beautiful colors. All the colors were beautiful. And he asked mommy to select. She didn't say, she said, Le Swami, meer em iste, whatever you give is prasadam Swami, you give it to me. You know what Swami did? He put all the 3 saris in her hand and said, Moodu tisko. That's what happens if we give everything to Swami. We have our own selections. We have our own priorities. But does not Bhagavan know what is good for us? We want to give everything to Swami's hands, and we want to make the choice. Is that the right way of offering it to Swami? No, I feel no. Personally, what I have learned from it was, when we give everything to Swami, you accept whatever he gives as prasadam. Whether it is happiness, whether it is sadness, whether it is prosperity, whether it is the other way around. Let's accept it with folded hands and said, Swami, it is your prasadam. Let's accept it and go forward. Because he gives us only what is good for us. Isn't it? We keep questioning Swami, we keep trying to tell Swami what we want, but what we really want we don't know. Please stop me when the time is up. I don't know how long. Okay, good. When we talk about Swami's Bhagavatam, there is no full stop or comma. It keeps going. So, at this point, what we have to learn is offer everything at His feet and leave the rest to Him only. That is the right way I feel we will be in a good position. He will give us the best. And I would like to mention one instance which just happened few hours before. I was in the mandir. We were doing some seva for the hospital, packing fruits and the other things for the super specialty hospital in Vrindavan. Elderly couple came up to me and said, I want to talk to you for some time. I was busy trying to put things, what all the things to say, come and say here. At that point I was just even thinking, some aspect of Vishnu I want to narrate of Swami, where Swami appeared to them or something like that. Then as she was talking, she didn't know that I was coming here and all that. She was continuously talking and telling me about different instances in her life. At that point she mentioned one instance. She is about 70-year-old now. When she was about maybe in her teens, she had a darshan of Swami at Uganda when he had visited Africa. She was not a believer of Swami. She only loved Lord Vishnu, and she knew only Vishnu and Satyanarayana or whatever. At that point, a friend of her forcibly took her to have darshan of Swami in Africa. She was sitting there. Swami went around, and she had her own doubts of Swami being she was telling her that Swami is God and all those things, but she didn't have faith in all that. Swami went around and came to her and he said, take Padnamaskaram. She didn't want to take Padnamaskaram because only something we feel we should do. That's what was her attitude. And again Swami said, Tisko, in Telugu. She knew Telugu actually. So Tisko ante, she still didn't touch. She was looking at Swami's feet and she looked at Swami's feet and looked up. The whole Satyanarayana figure was standing in front of her. And at that point she started crying and held Swami's feet. And she said, from that day, it was no looking back for me. At every point when I am in difficulty, Lord Satyanarayana in Sai Narayana's family, as Sai Narayana came into my rescue. I have never thought of such a instance. And then he took every aspect of her life as though it was his own. And at every point he kept guiding her and grooming her. Now, as brother was mentioning, we have just finished the Sai Satyanarayana Puja at Prashanti Nilayam. It was a Samohika Sai Satyanarayana Puja. In 2010, I want to narrate this instance because how deep Swami could go in organizing something and making things easy for the convenience of all the devotees. That's why I want to narrate this instance. When we do something for Swami, Swami ke kada parvaledu, you feel Swami ge alva parvagilla, adjust madkoltare. Adjust our madbekagiradalla, now madkobeku. Because we are doing it for him, it should be the best. So at that point, we had fixed the Sai Satyanarayana Puja. Lot of our brothers and sisters also participated in 2010. Lot of couples had come, and he, at one point, he said, what all material you are giving, bring it and show it to me. So we organized all the materials, nearly about, I think almost 45 to 50 items or more than that also. I don't have even the number for that. All the items were taken to Swami, and at the interview room, he said, have you brought it? He said, yes, Swami. Ipudu petti chubichu. Etla arrange chestavo. You show me how you are going to arrange. I said all that, and I expected this to happen, so I was well prepared. And then I set everything over there. And then what happened was, he saw everything, and he said, Oddu, idi ilag pettaddu. Idi ladies cheyalsindedi. This the ladies should do. This the gents should do. So you put this side, put this that side. And he said, ladies, gents, how they should sit, everything. And then at that point, we had kept some tissue papers, a pouch of tissue papers and a cloth. He said, Yenduku rendu? Led Swami, this cloth may be to wipe your hand or something, and this paper, tissue paper, if oil spills, we had given lamp, oil, wicks, everything. So if oil spills, it is easy to clean. Oh, anta alochana chestunnava. You are thinking like that. I said, Swami ki ichedi correct ga undala kad Swami andukosram. Manchidi. And then after that, we had given 2 water bottles. One for puja and one for if someone, they feel thirsty or something like that, they can have. Enduku rendu water bottle annaru. He asked, Yake 2 water bottle ittidiya? Illa Swami, ondu pujege, innondu avrige daha adare adu ninige artha agutte, ellarigu ella artha agutte, he said. Illa Swami, but I didn't have an answer for that. దానిపైగా అల్లి ಒಂದು స్టిక్కర్ ಹಾಕು, పూజా వాటర్ అండ్ డ్రింకింగ్ వాటర్ అంత. I said, Swami, how meticulous you could be. I forgot, we've thought of everything, but this aspect of it we had forgotten. We put that, Sare Swami, Vestam Swami. I said, okay Swami. Then after that, he came out. We had, before we came out, he said, Ipudu, andarki, you make a video of how all these materials to be used. Orientation madri chesi, video projection cheyi andarki munde, previous day, so that they know how they are doing the puja. So we had to organize a formal Sai Satyanarayana Puja, take a video and show it to the devotees, because lot of overseas devotees had also registered. To make this a little more lighter, as the forms were being registered and all that, we took the registration forms and all that, and he said, couples only have to sit for the puja. I said, okay Swami, couples ne kurcham pedtam. Hey, utti couples kaadu. It is not couples. They should be married couples. He said, I was wondering, this, I didn't expect this from Swami. Married couples, Swami. I didn't know what he was referring to. And then said, బయట దేశం ఇంకా దండిగా వస్తున్నారు కూర్చొనేదానికి అన్నాడు. సో స్వామి, I said, లేదు స్వామి, మ్యారీడ్ కపుల్స్ ఏంటి, పెళ్ళైన జంటలు మాత్రం కూర్చోవాలని చెప్పి అనౌన్స్మెంట్ చేయి, లేకపోతే ఎవరెవరినో తీసుకొచ్చి కూర్చోబెట్టేసుకుంటారు. అదంతా చాలా కామన్ అక్కడ. I said, లేదు స్వామి, అట్లే చూస్తాం స్వామి. After that, he came out. The love of the Lord is so overwhelming. He came out, our VC was sitting outside. He said, see, they are bringing, in Telugu he was talking to them. See, they are going to conduct a puja where 1008 couples are going to sit and do puja. I was looking at Swami's face, looking at father's face, and looking at that VC's face. We didn't mention 1008. We had said, because it was Swami's 75th birthday, we wanted 85th birthday, we wanted 850 couples to sit and do puja. And nowhere was that number there. He said, 𝗬𝗏 దంపతులను కూర్చోబెట్టి పూజ చేస్తున్నారు. And I said, okay, Swami. I didn't say anything. You will not believe it. When the registration were complete, there were applications which were flowing in. At every point, we went to Swami and said, Swami, inko 100 seats, Swami. And he kept adding. And then at one point, he said, inka chalu. It is enough. It was almost 1,000 registrations. And there were a lot of cancellations, there were a lot of additions, a lot of deletions, all that. Just 2 days before the program, he said, Swami filled the other gaps, 1,000 change. And there were 2 seats left over at just the previous day of the puja. I was feeling we had almost completed 1,006, another 2,008 Swami's number would come true. We were all discussing, see, Swami said 1,008, now he has brought it there. Then we had a call from the collector's office. And they called, we are saying collector's office. There were a lot of influence being used. Collector's office, this office, that office, we want to sit for puja. So we thought it was the same sort of an pushing through agenda, and we said, no, we are all full, we don't have any seats. And no, it is from the collector's office. I said, whoever it is, you please take permission from Swami, that's all. And then, I don't know what happened, maybe they sent a fax to Swami or whatever, I don't know. Then Chakravarti sir called me and said, hey, Vinod, ఏమి నువ్వు కలెక్టర్నే లేదని చెప్పేసినావా? He said, నాకదంతా తెలీదు సార్, వాళ్ళు కలెక్టర్ ఆఫీస్ అని చెప్పి కలెక్టర్ అని చెప్పలేదు, చెప్పింటే then I would have taken permission from Swami to whether to accommodate or not. Hey, ఎవరైనా కలెక్టర్ అని from collector's office you should have accommodated. I said, no sir, we have only 2 seats, I'm waiting for Swami's instructions. లేదు, Swami has said, fill up that 1 seat. చెప్పారు. I spoke to Swami and he asked me to call you and I'm doing that. I said, okay sir. And we accepted that application and all that. And after that, there was 1 more seat left over. The day morning, Swami sent word for us and he said, hey, ఇంకేమి ఒక సీట్ ఉందా? He asked. I said, yes Swami, 1 seat is there. Okay, సరే. అన్నీ ఫిల్ అయిపోయింది అనుకున్నానే. He said, లేదు స్వామి, 1 seat మీ పర్మిషన్ కోసం we are waiting for your permission to fill that seat. Okay, నేను చెప్తాను పో. It was almost 45 minutes before the program could start. There's 1 seat vacant right in the front. And one of our Sai brothers came running to me and said, no, Swami has said, Mr. Indulal Shah and his wife have not registered and he's sending them to sit for the puja. And they came, and again he was wearing a juban kurta. Swami was very particular that the attire should be right. Dhoti angavastram. For the ladies, I think it was maroon sari, what Swami had selected. And I said, maroon sari obviously auntie was wearing, but here dhoti and angvastram. I was very much worried that Swami has to give permission for that. So I was just thinking what to do, whether to tell him, he being an elderly person in the organization and all that, it was not right for me to go up to him and tell him, you go where 𝗣𝗠 𝗪𝗏 and all that. I was praying to Swami, and then Swami again sent word with another boy to solve my dilemma. He said, Ledu, వాళ్ళని అట్లే కూర్చోమని చెప్పు, పర్వాలేదు స్వామి చెప్పారని చెప్పు. That is the compassion of Swami. They don't know to wear the dhoti angavastram, they are elderly, so let them sit like that. And then when he came round for darshan, as the program was getting over, he came round for darshan. He said, he looked at me and he looked at Indulal and he said like this. I didn't want to say anything. I said, Emi ledu. I just shook my head, and Swami said, వాళ్ళకి ధోతి అంగవస్త్రం వేసుకునే దానికి వచ్చేలే, అందుకే అలా కూర్చోమన్నాను. చాలా పని చేసినారు స్వామికి. They have done a lot of work for Swami, they said. And then at that point, that love and affection he had towards each and every devotee I could see there. It is only for us to learn that whether we are living up to his expectation. And from that day to this day, every word of his is true. Because I will conclude with this instance. When we had the opportunity of the old mandir, a lot of devotees would know Sai Geetanjali, the old mandir. It was an old setup with that Madras style roof and all those things. It was giving way. We wanted to rebuild it. Swami had given us an idol of Shirdi Baba. That's again a very long story. Almost that promise which was kept for my grandfather nearly 50 years ago, which he fulfilled and gave us that Shirdi Baba's idol, which had to be installed over there. There, just to have a small program and all that was a little difficult because it was old building leaking and all that. We took Swami's permission for rebuilding the whole building, demolish and rebuild. And Swami said, Kotte, you break it down and rebuild a new building. We said yes. And at that point when he was saying that, I just told Swami, Swami Mirochi, you have to inaugurate the premises, Mandir ni Mire Vachi, Udgatana, opening, you have to come. He said, why I should come? Mirochi Povala Swami, I said. In Telugu, usually that is the procedure. ನೀವು ಬಂದು ಹೋಗಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ ಆ ಥರ. మీరు వచ్చిపోవాలా స్వామి, I said. ఎందుకు వచ్చిపోవాలా? He said. లేదు స్వామి, మీరు వస్తేనే అవుతుంది స్వామి, మీరు వచ్చి వెళ్ళాలి స్వామి. Then he said, నేను వచ్చి వెళ్ళను, నేను అక్కడే ఉంటాను. At that point, that was relevant, very relevant, that he comes and stays there. Because physically Swami, I thought Swami would come and stay there. Then when the mandir was being done, we lost Swami's physical presence and all that. As the inauguration was being done, as Swami's idol was being taken into the mandir, as the opening of the mandir, I literally couldn't control myself. I started crying. And it was a very heavy moment for me. And just before that, when the plan was all ready, I took the plans, as Swami's Sannidhi is there, I kept the plans there, and I had my namaskaram, and then I felt a little heavy in my heart. A few tears rolled down my eyes, because if Swami was physically there, he would turn the pages, see everything and all that. Just to cut the story short, I stayed there for that day night. Morning, Swami came in my dream, and he was sitting on that pedestal over there. He kept the file on his lap, and he started turning the pages. He turned it once, he turned it second time, he turned it third time, he turned it fourth time. In the dream, I am asking Swami, Swami, 𝗍𝗵 Swami. Then he said, he looked at the file and said, "Hey, nenu oste undedi ekkadra?" he asked. And I didn't know what Swami was referring to. And he said, "Swami, naaku artham kale Swami." That again happened in the dream. "Naaku artham kale Swami," I said. "Ledu, nenu oste undedi ekkada?" There were 3 floors. The whole mandir is Swami's. Wherever he can stay. It is all his. So then I still didn't understand. He mentioned it again. "Naaku artham kale Swami," I said. "Hey, na room ekkadra?" he asked. At that point, it didn't happen intentionally, but it didn't occur to us that we have to have a room for Swami. Ledu Swami, chestam Swami. And we got the room done and all that. That day, when the inauguration was happening, Swami started showing his presence every other day that he is there. Swami had said, Appudu, when he was coming, when we were bringing Swami's idol inside, I was feeling, "Swami, you said, nenu vachi untanu. How is this possible now, Swami?" And now, as on today, I would be authentically telling that he is living there for us. We have to only call him. It may not be Sai Geetanjali, it may not be any other place. We have to call him and tell him, "Swami, live with us. Stay with me." He will surely come and install himself. He will surely take care of whatever we are doing, whatever activities we are into. I am sure we are seeing this almost from past, after the mandir is open, it's almost 5 years now. We are seeing that every day in and out, how Swami is showing his presence. Nenu akkadi vachi untanani chepparu kada. He said, "I'll come and stay there." He is literally coming and staying there for us. With this note, let's all pray together that he always stays with us in all our lives to come. I would like to pray to Swami. Swami, usually it is said, "Naaku maru janmam oddana," we ask, isn't it? That is the prayers we should have for life. But I would like to say, "Swami, janma janmantram nito undettu. At every avatar, please keep us at your feet, so that we can be worthy instruments at your feet, Swami. Please use us as worthy instruments." I am really very humbled today. We have Dr. Sundaresan and all the elders who are much more experienced with Swami than me. I am a very small, a speck of dust at Swami's feet. Jai Sai Ram.
So blessed to, can't talk. Request Dr. Sundaresh to say a few words of thanks. Thanks, Sai Vinod brother. It's so wonderful. And we should take this experience with us on the 61st anniversary. And also it's Bhagavad Saptaham, not one day is sufficient when Swami could give so much to all of us. And we try to put everything in a small 1 hour, it's not possible. But it's all the snippets, the small, keep adding value to our life. And every breath that we take, it's His grace and His blessings. Brother Sai Vinod, Sai Ram, please. So thanks once again, Vinod. Let's have let's put our hands together and give a. I think whenever I see him, we don't see him as a other family member. It's like Sai fraternity is our brother. So that kind of feeling Sai Vinod's family give. Thanks for coming here, and I think we look forward to hear more of Bhagavan's experience. Whenever you get time, I think Amit busy schedule and keeps himself very busy. Then he requested, I've been requesting him before COVID. He said, "I can't speak." No, you have to speak. Whenever I say, you have to speak for us.
Pretending to be busy.
Thank you so much once again.
Om Shri Sai Ram. Offering myself at the divine lotus feet of Bhagavan Baba. It's my privilege to be here today on this auspicious occasion of the 61st anniversary. I wasn't meant to be here actually. There's a program in the hospital I was supposed to go to. There's a 𝗣𝗠 which happens just before Swami's birthday. I was supposed to be there, but circumstances and Swami's wish, I think, it brought me here. It's a pleasure to say a vote of thanks to what Brother Vinod has just spoken. Actually, it's better not to speak too much about hearing such wonderful experiences from him, but carry all those thoughts with us back home and dwell on them. However, I just make 2 points. Number one, it's fortunate that Brother Vinod, after a serious accident, despite orthopedic surgeons, he's all right and walking on his toes. And I think it's Swami's grace. Number two is every time I don't come here every Sunday, whenever I am able to come, I do come. But every time I come here, I have only one thought in my mind. Though it is, we claim it, I don't know whether it is true or not, that the Malleshwaram Samiti is the first organized Samiti in the whole world. I don't know whether we should take pride in it or how our feelings should be. But for reasons best known to Swami, we've never had a permanent location. And I have dwelled on this topic a lot when I come here and even otherwise. Earlier I used to get a little, maybe worried, maybe angry with Swami. But looking at the progress that the Malleshwaram Samiti has made, I think kudos to all the people here who have taken forward the mission of Swami and all those before those who are here. It's a wonderful effort. I think the effort is much more. It's not just the physical effort, but it's the effort in our minds that keeps this activity going on, despite the fact that we don't have what Vinod has, Sai Gitanjali. I will end by saying that I don't know whether we should all join together and pray to Swami to continue like this with uncertainty. He always said, love my uncertainty. Or you want a permanent structure and a liability. I leave it to all of you. But for me, I think we should all offer a joint prayer to give us a permanent place. Thank you, Vinod, for sharing your experiences. It was very nice to hear about Swami and his vision for all of us. That is the best part of it. Jai Sai Ram.
ಕ್ರಮ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರು. ಅದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರಿಯಾದವರೇ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಸರಿಯಾದವರೇ, ಆ ಥರದ್ದಲ್ಲ, ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ನಮಗೆ ಭಾಳ ಸಂತೋಷ. ಈ 2 ಫೋಟೋ ಸ್ವಾಮಿನೇ ಇವ್ರ ತಂದೆಯವ್ರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈಗ ಭಜನೆ ಮಂಡಳಿ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದು. ಇದನ್ನು ನಡೆಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮಕ್ಕಳಾದವರು ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದು ಬಿಡದ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಬರ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದ. ಸಾಯಿರಾಮ್.
quick announcement. Sastriji, 1 minute announcement. On 23rd, on Swami's 97th birthday, we'll be starting our day with Nagar Sankirtan. The Nagar Sankirtan venue would be adjacent to Manipal Northside Hospital. I'll send you the GPS link. Please do join large numbers. So that day will start at 5:15, 𝗪𝗏 𝗩𝗵 followed by Nagar Sankirtan from that place. And by 10:30, we'll be conducting an Narayan Seva at the pipeline. 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock will be the Narayan Seva. We need volunteers. Please do keep in touch with Seshai at the side. This side you can. Steel drive or there that day? You are here. Okay. Okay, fine. So please do join in large numbers. In the evening, the program will start at 4 p.m. We are planning to conduct a Rudrabhishekam for Bhagwan, followed by bhajan, and there will be a cake cutting. We also have a speaker on that day, Sudhindran, the Vedam student of Bhagwan, who is an alumni of SSIHL. He'll be sharing his experiences on the day, and request to take part in large numbers with families and partake Bhagwan's blessings. After this Aarti, there's a prasadam has been arranged. It's a takeaway. Please collect your prasadam. Thanks for the wonderful journey. I think it has been 61 years, but I think, as we said, it's a way to go, and we need more people, more talented to come and share this joy with Swami. That's the request. There's one small quick there's a 𝗧𝗹𝗸 training certificate. Request 𝗧𝗹𝗸, please come through. I request 𝗪𝗏 𝗓𝗵𝗆 to receive the certificate behalf of 𝗓𝗏 and 𝗪𝗏 𝗓𝗵𝗆. Amma, Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. 27th, that is next Sunday, we'll have a youth music program. Please do join in large numbers. Jai Sai Ram.
Om Jai Jagadish Hare Swami Satya Sai Hare Bhakta Jana Samrakshaka Bhakta Jana Samrakshaka 𝗪𝗏 Om Jai Jagadish Hare Shashivadana Sarva Pranapati Swami Sarva Pranapati Ashita Kalsalakita Ashita Kalsalakita Ādharatādhara Om Jai Jagadish Hare Mata Pita Guru Daivam Mariyantayunive Swami Mariyantayunive Nāga Brahma Jagannatha Nāga Brahma Jagannatha Jnanendra Shayana Om Jai Jagadish Hare Omkara Rupavaka Sriram Sai Mahadeva Satya Sai Mahadeva Mangala Harati Antuko Mangala Harati Antuko Mangala Giridhari Om Jai Jagadish Hare Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana Narayana Om Jai Sadguru Deva Narayana Narayana Om Satya Narayana 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 Om जय सद्गुरुदेवा। शांति शांति शांति। समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु। समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु। समस्त लोका सुखिनो भवन्तु। शांति शांति शांति।
जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की
जय। जय जय मंगल साई नमो। जय जय मंगल साई नमो। जय 𝗵𝗚 साई नमो। जय 𝗵𝗚 साई नमो। जय जय मंगल साई नमो। शिव शक्तीश्वर साई नमो। शिव शक्तीश्वर साई नमो। श्री शैलेश्वर साई नमो। श्री शैलेश्वर साई नमो। जय जय मंगल साई नमो। जय 𝗵𝗚 साई नमो। जय जय मंगल साई नमो। शिव शक्तीश्वर साई नमो। श्री शैलेश्वर साई नमो। श्री शैलेश्वर साई नमो। जय जय मंगल साई नमो।
परमं
परमं पवित्रं भावाविभूतिं। परमं विचित्रं लीलाविभूतिं। परमार्थ इष्टार्थ मोक्षप्रदातं बाबा विभूतिम् इदमाश्रयामि। परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं। परमं विचित्रं लीलाविभूतिं। परमार्थ इष्टार्थ मोक्षप्रदातं बाबा विभूतिम् इदमाश्रयामि। परमं पवित्रं बाबा विभूतिं। परमं विचित्रं लीलाविभूतिं। परमार्थ इष्टार्थ मोक्षप्रदातं बाबा विभूतिम् इदमाश्रयामि। बाबा विभूतिम् इदमा